Hi and welcome to the Financial Fox. This is Stefania and we are going to talk today about crypto and decentralized finance. So first of all, thank you very much to all our subscribers. Please keep on sharing the content. Any feedback you have got is really appreciated. And, thank you so much for helping to growing our channel. And I hope I can carry on bringing you some great project and also some interesting and great conversation that are going to make you, are going to make you happy and you can find interesting. So the guest today is going to be a really cool guest. So it's with my pleasure that I'm going to introduce you to Maki, co-founder of decentralized exchange SushiSwap. Hi Maki, how are you?
Hello, I'm very good, thank you.
Okay, so you're being pretty busy man, the man of the moment. Sushi is doing pretty well. Since the beginning of 2021, I would say.
Yeah, we've been seeing the whole ecosystem kind of grow and being like in this phase where DeFi is taking a very ambitious kind of direction. So it's been like a very wild ride, and all of the project related to DeFi have been like in a very bullish kind of situation. Yeah.
Well, you passed the 2 billion market capitalization, which, is a big milestone, and you had some amazing volume in January. So, you should be kind of all firing up, and I believe with everything else that is going to happen in the next few months. Anyway, let's maybe start talking a little bit about SushiSwap and the role that is playing in the broader decentralized finance space.
Yeah, sure. Very simple. SushiSwap is a community-led AMM. So we are basically like an exchange where people can swap currencies, so cryptocurrencies from one another. And all of this is happening by basically like core people or volunteers maintaining the exchange. So we don't have any funding. We don't have we don't have any investors. All that we have is community members and the rev share, so a developer share that is kind of helping us develop the product. So far we are at 8 people full-time, I believe, 8 or 10. So we've been launched 5 months ago.
Well, you mentioned about automated market makers, which is a new concept in the finance in the traditional finance world. Do you maybe want to explain a little bit more on how this decentralized exchange works and the difference as well?
Yeah. So if you want to keep it very simple, is whenever you want to provide liquidity to the exchange, instead of having like an order book, you will take 2 assets. You will put 50% of each. So and then you provide them in a pool where people can trade off of it. And to make sure that you are rewarded for it, each time there's a trade, a small percentage of the fees is going to you. So that is why people are incentivized to provide liquidity. So you can have 2 assets that you believes are like in your portfolio and so on, and profit from them, and people can trade off of these pools. So right now like these pools go up to some of them are worth $500 million and so on. This is a very lucrative market, I would say, and a lot of people are taking the opportunities.
Exactly, and that is kind of like a new concept also for traders, because in a centralized exchange you can get these kind of incentives. What makes SushiSwap different from other automated market makers they are out there? Because if I understand it correctly, you provide some really interesting incentives that people can't find on other platform. Do you maybe want to expand that a little bit more?
Yeah, sure. So at the moment, we're not like very different than any other like AMM in the market. We have like a pretty normal curve or parameters, I would say, than Uniswap. The big difference is we're trying to build a community here. And to do so, we believe that we should basically distribute our governance token, which take decisions on the protocol, to anyone that is providing liquidity at the moment. Meaning that if you provide liquidity to SushiSwap, instead of just giving you the small percentage of the fee when there's a transaction, we also give you tokens on top of it, our own tokens, which is Sushi, that can be used to vote on the decision of the protocol and also earn some yields off of all of the swaps happening in the exchange. So this is kind of the differentiation at the moment. And I would say like another one is that we're a very open project where builders can basically receive grants, developers can come and contribute, and then we're going to be showcasing their work. We make a lot of partnership with a lot of projects too. I guess this is really where we shine. On the technical side of things, we're not very different than, I would say, the rest of protocols, and some of them are more advanced than us, but we are planning for 2021 to have our own kind of smart contract and exchange being released. So it's going to be very exciting, I think, for 2021.
Okay, and you are based on Ethereum blockchain, but I understand there are some talks that you are open SushiSwap platform on Polkadot. Can you talk us through that? Can you share?
Yeah, so very simple. SushiSwap doesn't have any bias to any blockchain. We're like very open-minded. We think that if there is a community and assets to be swapped, we want to be part of it. So far we saw like there's some traction in the Polkadot ecosystem with like some sort of a community kind of getting built there. It's not as big as Ethereum. Maybe they will never be as big, but we want to make sure that we're not like discrediting them and empowering them. Like any decentralized blockchain, in our opinion, that has meaningful developers and so on, has the potential to build something great, and we want to be part of it. So there's Polkadot coming. There's also an AMM on Solana Serum coming up too. So these are the two layer one that at the moment we're thinking about going. Is there going to be more? Potentially, but like so far these are the two on our radar, which is already big enough to build on one chain like Ethereum, because it's so massive. Spreading ourselves and basically like funneling all of the swap fees and so on to the Sushi holders is the mission. So we'll see how it evolves, but I'm very excited to build on other layer one and participate in various communities, because it's very, I would say, different and refreshing to meet new people that have like another perspective and another like kind of idea of the future. I think at the end, like all we want is the future of France to happen, and we want to make sure we're not like stuck and bounded by the old paradigms. But yeah, very, very excited to see the future, multi-chain and so on.
Yeah, I think that's very interesting, and also, I mean, I'm looking at your website, looking at your name, is quite it's very different, because it's all about sushi. It's all about the website. It looks like a sushi restaurant menu, isn't it? So I wanted maybe you to tell me why sushi, and what's the vision behind it? Not like the vision what you're trying to achieve, because you already covered that, but maybe that fact of building something different that it can get people and community more interested, and also create something that is an excuse to talk, to discuss, and what could be basically a sushi menu, for example.
Yeah, no problem. So the inspiration behind all of these kind of Japanese name and so on, like kind of the name, legend says that the name was picked because one of the founders, Chef Nomi, was before coding a sushi chef. So this is how he got the name. He always loved sushi. He was working as a sushi chef before coding and so on. So he decided to call it sushi. And then all of the menus item and all of the, I guess, design that refer to a restaurant, it's all for fun. It's all to make it, like not just like for tech people or nerdy people or blockchain or crypto native. it's all about having fun. And if you don't have fun in life, then why are you leaving? You know, this is kind of what Chef Nomi wanted us to do, and you know, we've been pushing this way forward since then. And so far, it's been going very well for us. And I think that outside of all of the fun and meme things, Sushi is actually like a very serious project. We just want to make sure that, you know, we're not taking ourselves too seriously. We're very humble, and that's pretty much like kind of the idea behind it.
Yeah, and tell me a bit about the Bento Box, which is to be launched in 2021.
Yeah, so very simple. The Bento Box is simply like one of our newest product. It's going to be a way to leverage and margin pretty much any token on Bento. If there is liquidity on SushiSwap, it's going to be on Bento Box, basically. So you'll be able to take long, short. You can also just deposit, supply your asset, similar to Aave Compound,
Okay.
but very different because, you know, the pairs are, how can I say this? They're like isolated. So if a pair goes, if they get liquidated or so on, like it's not gonna affect the whole system, just this pair. And, you know, like the person that got the loss can take the loss. It won't affect the whole risk. Like, you know, we won't have like something like the Maker Black Swan event, for example, and so on. So this is Bento Box. It's very interesting because it's not just a margin and lending protocol, but it's also like something that people can build on top of.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see, I think, like a lot of projects starting to emerge from this Bento Box because it's very cheap gas-wise. It's a very gas efficient and capital efficient platform. So, but we're gonna share way more detail once it is ready to announce, and we're gonna have like, you know, education material, graphics, videos, and so on how to use it, and tutorials.
Okay, looking forward to that. Listen, you mentioned about gas fee, and obviously that is kind of something that maybe, they are quite high when you're doing any kind of transaction at this stage in the DeFi space, and maybe that prevents some people actually to trade. What do you think is going to be the future, and how do you think this fee can actually come down and become, lower and more accessible?
I mean, many people are working on scaling solution. I do believe that, you know, the people that are being priced out at the moment are probably gonna rely on centralized exchange until either we make the network less congested by, you know, the top, I guess, gas guzzler, quote unquote, so the people using the smart contract moving to layer 2 or sidechains.
Yeah.
This is one way to do it. We've seen, like, you know, project leveraging, like, you know, Matic network, like Poly Market or Aavegotchi recently just moved there. So this is one way to do so. There is still, you know, like problematic to it. You have like delays and so on. So for certain, I guess, for certain use cases, it is one way to resolve them. On the other side, you can also go to, like, you know, a less crowded layer 1, like, you know, Polkadot or Solana and so on. But the truth is, if you don't have like these use case or tokens or, you know, dApps, etc., then what is the reason to go somewhere where there's nothing happening? So until this is built, until this is available, I think people are still going to keep, you know, using ETH as is. And most of them, you know, people are not like, most of the power user that I know don't really, quote unquote, care about like, you know, a $20 or $40 transaction fee, because the output is going to be worth it and it's available. For like smaller people, or like people that are just new to the ecosystem, I do believe you need at least $1,000 or $5,000 worth of, you know, like crypto to kind of be able to kind of navigate kind of this DeFi space, which is very unfortunate. But you know, hopefully in 3 to 6 months, we're going to see more layer 2 solutions that are going to make things easier and faster with only like, you know, signatures and so on, or like very low gas fee. So I'm not worried about this. I think this is just, it shows that, you know, the restaurant is busy. It shows that there is like demand, and we need to make sure we can make it more easy to transact on the network and fund solutions. Like it's a wake-up call.
Yeah, I like what you said. The restaurant is busy. I think that is a great image, and is actually what is happening in DeFi. Listen, you already mentioned Polkadot as you like the project. Is there any other DeFi project out there that you really like, and potentially you would like to do something together in the future?
So what I'm most interested about, is aside from layer one discussion, because I think this is very boring. Once Ethereum has scalability, I don't think anyone is gonna be willing to go anywhere else. What is more interesting is more about like open organizations. So organizations that are not funded necessarily by hedge funds or crypto funds, venture capitalists, and so on, where the teams are very transparent and open, where you can join if you contribute. It's like all based on meritocracy. So for example, like Yearn is the one that has always been kind of an example to me, and that we look up to, because we're a partner with them now. You can have a look at Yam Finance. They're like one of the pioneer in like this kind of food coin trend. But the truth is, they're still here today. They're still building. You can still go and get in the project if you're willing to put like the time. There's opportunities everywhere, and I think these open or project are the most interesting ones. We're seeing also like I'm very interested in governance and DAOs. So this is something that I've been looking at for quite some time, because we want to make sure Sushi transition at some point into a fully decentralized autonomous organization. And how to make it is to have like a non-chain system that people can vote on decision and so on, or veto, depending on which solution that we're going to be using. Obviously, we want to make sure that it is not like it's not going to charge $50 per transaction when people needs to vote, because that would be like very annoying for smaller, I guess, holders. But yeah, this is like these two projects. I've been looking a little bit into NFTs lately also. We saw like Ash Mask kind of popping off. CryptoPunks. NFTX has been doing very well in this area, in my opinion. I'm also very interested in like other projects that are trying to how can I say like algo coin and so on. It's been like very fascinating to see all of these projects evolve, and we want to support them. And I think this is where we're going. It's like not just about, you cannot just focus on DeFi, you cannot just focus just in governance, open or like layer one. It's all about, it's a melting pot, and you need to always be researching, looking at, and whatever you find the most interesting, then you immerse yourself, and that's how you're gonna find your niche in crypto. And a very like I've a blast, in my opinion, like total fun.
Yeah, it's just the beginning, as you said. We are kind of in a very early stage where there is a lot to research and to contribute and build up together. To close up, tell me what is on the menu for 2021. What you're working on. We mentioned a few projects that are coming up, but if you can expand on that, and maybe what we should expect from SushiSwap this year.
So you can expect for SushiSwap going forward, like you can expect a new branch on a layer one. We're going to be expanding there. We're going to have like our AMMB2 coming up with like different curve. I don't think an asset that is based on something that is less volatile should be on the same curve as something that is volatile. We're going to see perhaps aside from Bento Box launching more product, we have like Miso that is going to be launching, which is supposed to be our kind of a launchpad for new assets, where teams can come up there, set all of the parameters, if there's vesting, if there is like the percentage of allocation and so on, and then kind of literally like just press a button and make it happen. We want to democratize all of this. We want to make sure Sushi is also a full-on DAO. We want to keep partnering with more participants in this ecosystem. Make sure that we are also gonna get on layer 2 at some point in this year. That is hopefully gonna happen. It is one of the things I'm the most bullish about, because once we don't have any of these like fees to be paid, or like enormous fees, then we're gonna have more volume, and it's gonna be like just we are at the tip of the iceberg basically at the moment. And I think Sushi has like a very big and massive roadmap. I mean, we're seeing like integration with Torchain also, which is gonna enable you know, multi-blockchain swaps. So this is gonna be great. It's all about like basically like empowering builders to make sure that they can be on a spotlight at SushiSwap. I mean, we want to have options on the platform and expand kind of this vertical. Is it going to be with partners or not? I mean, at the moment, I do think that it is better to always involve everyone at the table than try to make everything by yourself. So this is kind of the mindset for Sushi going forward. So yeah.
Okay. This very, very interesting time ahead. Thank you so much, Maki.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Okay, this is everything from the Financial Fox today. I really hope that you enjoy the interview, and please subscribe to our channel, send me any feedback or anything that is really appreciated, and I will see you next time.